Good morning, dear participants of the marathon. We continue to study from Bhagavad-gita, and today it is hosted by Alexander Khakimov, and we're gonna go through chapters number 10, 11, and 12. Good morning, dear participants of the marathon. Can we start? Thank you. So we're gonna touch this transcendental knowledge today. This knowledge is out of reach of feelings and mind. Transcendental knowledge lays inside of our inner life. Out of reach of feelings. Spiritual knowledge is non-different from the meaning or sense of life, from our original feelings, original thoughts. The original source is God, and we are all particles of God. Energy chit is the original energy, and all the activity of living beings is organized by the transcendental knowledge, the chit, divine energy. Today we will go through chapters 10, 11, and 12, and we will take several verses from each chapter. Chapter number 10 is titled Opulence of the Absolute. First 6 chapters of Bhagavad-gita is dedicated to finding a path to distinguish oneself from the matter, how to understand oneself. And the rest is explaining us how to achieve the goal. How can it be achieved? It can be achieved by concentrating the mind on the highest goal. Chapter 9 is telling us that the Lord is out of everything, but at the same time He's inside of everything. Chapter 9 is called the most confidential knowledge. So step by step we're climbing up to get the understanding of the Absolute. There might be some mistakes on the path, but still we go step by step to understand that knowledge. And on that path we are getting some aid from higher ground. So Arjuna is asking the Lord, please explain me. Arjuna is asking for help from the Lord, and it shows that a living being cannot do anything without this help from the Lord. The devotional service means that the soul becomes very dear to the Lord. Usually it requires some austerities, to get some understanding, but with the devotional service you can already have all your feelings engaged into devotional service, and this is how they get under the control. So the essence of the Bhagavad-gita is to give instructions, is in instructions to a living being. And these instructions are much more valuable than the information how to live longer or how to maintain your body. So it's important to hear the song of God. By listening to Krishna's instructions, Arjuna is developing he's getting himself into a state of trance, and he wants to hear more and more and more up to the end. Even though there is war going on, so he's getting all this knowledge from the Lord. And this chapter 9 is giving us the information how the Lord manifests himself in this material world. How can he see the Lord? Texts 8 through 11. The chapter is titled "The Opulence of the Absolute." Text 10:8. I am the source of all spiritual material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know the engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. This verse usually gets many comments by transcendentalists, because it's not easy to understand it right away. We are not equal to Arjuna, and he's a close associate of Krishna. So he is more into this state of trance. He is submerged into this transcendental state. Arjuna is listening to Krishna, and for us, this word aham is a little bit tricky, because we need to understand aham means I, but what does it mean for us? When we say I, we think about ourselves, about my family, and about my job, my work. And Krishna says me, aham, or atma. Atma also means myself. But there's Paramatma, and we might think that aham means any living being, and we might get this conception of merging oneself into, like everything is being merged. So when we say aham sarvasya prabhavo, we might think I am the source of everything. And that was exactly what happened to one person I was talking to. He thought, he was saying, aham, me, I am the source. I didn't know that I am the source of the material and spiritual universes. I was really amazed by that concept that he had. But we need to understand that in this text, Krishna is talking about himself, not about you, not about living entities. So the mind is tricky. It is not easy to understand Bhagavad-gita through the mind. It's not up to us to use this Sankhya method to analyze it. Sankhya means to get apart everything, to study every little particle. But the soul and the super soul cannot be divided. We need to listen to it by heart. So when we see something inconvincible, and I see that inconvincible, and I can feel I am inspired and I am very happy. The soul is achintya. The only determination, the only term that we can apply to the soul is the servant of the Lord. So Krishna says, aham pravasya prabhavo, sarvasya prabhavo. Everything, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. Sarva means everything. But we need to understand that the word sarvasya means everything. Not only me, everything I can imagine, everything I cannot imagine. We don't know what is going on other planets, but Krishna is the source. We don't know when our life will get to the end, but Krishna knows. But if we try to witness it, we will see that the universe moves under some supreme control, and the universe that is called Jagat, there's a term called Jagannathi. It's the one who is in control of all the universe movement. Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. So we understand that everything is under his control, but he is also the source and the beginning of everything. The text number 9 is Machitanad Gata Prana. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. What is the connection between these two texts? Krishna is saying, I am the source of everything, and he is saying that the sages, they really devoted to me. My pure devotees dwell in me. The heart is the place where the jiva is living, the mind, and from that center it emanates towards the eyes and ears and brain. So they worship me with their heart. This is the meaning of Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. I am the source of everything. The source of your life, your soul, the one who is supporting. So those who really know this fact, they dwell in me. All thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. If we understand Krishna, if we get to understand him, it would be a great meditation. And of course, impersonal aspect of it brings us a lot of peace. The energies of Krishna are very diverse. And Krishna means the name, the form, the associates, and pastimes. Just try to understand it, that the forms of Krishna, acts of Krishna, the associates of Krishna are non-different. Krishna means all attractive, all beautiful. His pastimes attract everyone. His associates are all attractive. And Krishna is the source of everything. This is very interesting. This chapter is giving us some descriptions how Krishna is all attractive. And this chapter is giving us this description. How come he is so attractive? And these devotees who are so dedicated to Krishna worship, how they spend their time in conversations about Krishna. And Krishna gets a lot of joy from these conversations. Tushyanti cha ramanti cha means continuous joy, continuous pleasure, and it's ever growing. If we are happy, equally happy every day, it makes us really boring. Today I did good, and yesterday I did good, and next day I worked very good, and it means it's a routine. If we do everything, same thing every day, then we are getting tired, and it's boring. So we want to stop this activity for a little while, because there is no development. The qualities of the objects we're connect with, they put some boundaries on us. And Krishna is originally he's Nirguna, but then he becomes Samguna, and then he turns into Nirguna again. Text number 10. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. If we are on the way to the Lord and we do something for Him, sometimes it's hard to do with faith, and we would like to get some proofs. Someone is there. We need some signs. So we give it a try, and if we have some proofs on the way, then we continue. But Krishna is saying that if it's correct way, authoritative, it would mean like, to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give them understanding by which they can come to me. We have our eyes opened, and the things we couldn't see before, we can see now. It's not up to our eyes, but the mind. Our mind starts to see with knowledge. So we have the eyes, but it's more like peacock eyes. You know, the peacock has the eyes on the tail. It would be just the same. But the eyes we have should look through the love of God. Then we would understand. Because I want to serve you. This is the way how we can understand how we can take care of everyone and everything. the best care is spreading the Krishna consciousness, spreading this knowledge. That's why Krishna is saying, if someone is worshipping me with all his heart and mind, then he can be involved in the real process. Because we need to engage our mind to distinguish the process, what we are doing. That would be the devotional service. It will give us a lot of new and fresh experience. Just this very marathon, everyone can use it to get into this state of trance. Text number 11, to show them special mercy, I dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. The mind is compared to the light within. You know, we can get some information, light information from the objects. So we get to see something and we get the information about it. And when we get this brain, our mind developed, we're getting advanced in Buddhi Yoga. And text number 12 through 13 is Arjuna said, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest and the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala and Vyasa confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. And Arjuna is saying, like, I hear you and I see you right now. You're the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And now everything is connected. If we perceive the source of everything, Lord Krishna, everything else can be perceived. The world becomes one piece. Because we cannot see a way how to make everything united. So many different people, so many different approaches, how can it be connected? All the great sages, such as you are the eternal, transcendental origin person. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency, O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe. And Krishna is saying to Arjuna that his greatness is impossible to be shown. Just like right now we're talking about Bhagavad-gita, but we cannot discuss everything. So he's saying, "O Arjun, I am the beginning and the middle and the end." If you try to understand that Krishna is the beginning, the middle, and the end, then you'll be perfect. How you start your life, how you continue with your life, and how you finish it. You need to learn about Krishna in the beginning, and you need to remember Krishna through your life. Krishna is giving us description how we can see him. He's saying if we see any of the material objects, we can remember him by understanding that this is his manifestation. I am the super soul, or Arjuna, seated in the hearts of living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of the beings. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi, and among the stars, I am the moon. Of the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind, and in living beings, I am the living force, consciousness. Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. So among the warriors, I am Kartikeya. Of priests, or Arjun, know me to be the chief Brihaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya, and of bodies, of water, I am ocean. Of the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names, Japa. So Krishna is when you chant Om. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names, Japa. This is Japa. Japa meditation. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names, the stream of holy names. The greatest sacrifice in this age is Japa meditation. If you ever say Hare Krishna, pure, you will be purified right away. And continuous process of chanting Hare Krishna is like the stream. And of immovable things, I am the Himalayas. Himalaya mountains cannot be moved. Of all trees, I am the banyan tree. It's amazing tree. And of the sages among the demigods, I am Narada. Of the Gandharvas, I am Chitrarartha, and among perfected beings, I am the sage Kapila. Among the perfected beings, look, there are so many perfect beings, but there are some perfected beings, and I am Kapila. Of horses, know me to be Uchaishrava, produced during the churning of the ocean of nectar. Of lordly elephants, I am Airavata, divine elephant. And among men, I am the monarch. This is how we see Krishna. Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am Surabhi. Of course, for protection, I am Kandarbha, the god of love. Yeah, it is really difficult to overcome Kandarpa, this desire or lust. We can only appeal to Krishna, and then we'll be able to get over it. And of serpents, I am Vasuki. Vasuki is the manifestation of Krishna. Of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta, and among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama, and among the dispensers of lore, I am Yama, the lord of death. Among the Daitya demons, I am the devoted Prahlada. Among subduers, I am Time. Among beasts, I am the lion, and among birds, I am Garuda. He's not giving us all the descriptions of every little thing because we cannot perceive it. Of purifiers, I am the wind. Why wind and not the water? When you want to clean something, you open the window and you want to get some fresh air. Just like when the clothes is still wet after washing it, it needs to be dry in order to become clean. So clean air is the most important. Like in the big cities, there's hypoxia and people are suffering because there's a lack of pure oxygen. We go outside, have some time in the mountains and clean places. We breathe, and after 1 hour of walk, we get so much prana we can continue for another half a year. Of the wielders of weapons, I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark, and of flowing rivers, I am Ganges. Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end, and also the middle of Arjuna. Of all science, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, I am the conclusive truth. When you get to Krishna, you get the absolute truth. Of letters, I am the letter A. And among compound words, I am the dual compound. I am also inexhaustible time, and of creators I am Brahma. When you name something, it means relationship. When you say Krishna, it means all attractive. He is one, but becomes many. So when you have this letter A, but then you get the compound words, try to speak without any compounds, any dual compounds. It's impossible. So we cannot nor breathe, nor move without Krishna. I am all devouring death, and I am the generating principles of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. Look, fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, these are all feminine qualities. If you get to talk to women, you immediately want to write poetry, and you're inspired to do things. So Krishna is giving us a lot of the good things. Where do we get all the bad qualities? We need to read through the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad-gita to understand where these bad qualities come. Of the hymns in Samaveda, I am the Brihad Sama, and of poetry, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am Marga Shirsha, November, December, and of seasons, I am flower bearing spring. Spring is when our feelings develop. Harvest is Krishna. Try to find the place where there is no Krishna. It's impossible. I am also the gambling of cheats. Look, he is there as well. This is the energy of Krishna also. And of the splendid, I am the splendor. I am victory and I am adventure. I am the strength of the strong. The descendants of Vrishni, I am Vasudeva. You're my friend, I support this friendship. You're my servant, I support the service that you render. And of the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Of the sages, I am Vyasa, and among great thinkers, I am Ushana. Among all means of suppressing lawlessness, I am punishment. And of those who seek victory, I am mortality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of the wise, I am the wisdom. If the victory is not moral, then it's not correct. Krishna says, I am the biggest mystery. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no begin, moving, or non-moving that can exist without me. Almighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulence. Know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. But what deed is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. The absolute truth is the highest good. So this is when Arjun is getting his questions. Arjun had all the illusions gone when he heard all this from Lord Krishna, and he's saying, I would like to see this form, this beautiful universal form. There are going to be some horrible pictures right now, so try to stand it. Just like in the movie. This theme is very destructive because what Arjuna says is really hard to perceive. And thanks God we don't see what Arjuna sees. He asked for it from Krishna. And Krishna said, I will show you this. It's okay, but it's not that you will see it with your material eyes, with these eyes. You need some divine eyes. I will give you my eyes, so you can see it. And so Arjun gets this divine vision. Divine vision means you don't need to go anywhere. All you need is to wish for it. So you wish for that universal form to be shown, and ordinary people will faint if they see just a little bit of what Arjuna saw. Just like when I saw this little video of it was like astronomical video. It will give you like the sizes of planets. There is one planet and another planet that would be bigger than that, and another one, and then we get one planet after another one that is much bigger, and the music is supporting it, brings you to this state that this universe is so vast, you feel yourself very tiny. So Arjuna is saying, I would like to see how you get into these worlds, and how do you support all this universe. And Krishna is giving him this divine vision. And after seeing this, Arjuna started to talk with his hair standing up. We don't die, we're eternal souls, and we can feel joy and everything if we are safe. Just like watching something on the TV, on the screen, we can see some really heavy stuff, but at the same time, if we feel safe, we are fine. So Arjuna was just like that. He could see all these manifestations of the Lord. He could see everything in one place. It's like material universe. There are some cells, and each cell would have everything. It's just like in Upanishad. Om Purnam Idam Purnam. So Krishna is saying, Arjuna is saying, my dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva and all the sages and divine serpents. Imagine you have never seen the universe and now you see it, and it's full of life. And it's all under control of some intelligence. O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes, expanded everywhere without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, and no beginning. So we'll pass several verses here, the description. Almighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods, and disturbed at seeing your great forms, with its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth. And as they disturbed, so am I. He sees that this universal form, takes everything, just like the time is eating everything. It's terrific power. Many mouths and bellies that digest everything. So he says that all the demigods are in fear and run away. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also are rushing into your fearful mouth, and some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moth dash to destruction in blazing fire. Yeah, if you pay attention to these butterflies that live at night and they try to reach for the light, for the fire, they die immediately. No one can survive it. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays. O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. So he is always asking who you are repeatedly. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. Everything is being done by the time. This is the will of God, and Arjuna is the instrument, the tool of Krishna. And Arjuna feels this fear, and he wants Krishna to stop the show. You are the Supreme Lord, he is saying. You are the Father of a complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and non-moving. Your worshipable chief. So Arjuna, after seeing this universal form, he understands that the greatness of Krishna, and he's asking Krishna to forgive him for making some jokes because he was treating him as a friend. You are the Father of this complete cosmic manifestation of moving and non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is greater than you. None can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within these three worlds, O Lord? You are the Supreme Lord, to be worshipped by every living being. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, a Lord of Lords, all adobe of the universe, a universal form of thousand-armed Lord. I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form. O best of Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine. For neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activity, nor by severe penances, can I be seen in this form in the material world. You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now, let it be finished. My devotee be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form and at last showed his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. Then Arjuna, thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardana, seeing the human-like form so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and I am restored to my original nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are even ever seeking for the opportunity to see this form which is so dear. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by understanding serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities, the mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of this life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. So the original form of the human is the Lord. We look for Krishna everywhere. First we need to get this pure love for God, and this form will manifest itself. These are the secrets from Bhagavad-gita, amazing secrets. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activity and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every little being, he certainly comes to me. This is the end of the chapter, and we have no time to go to the next one, so we'll be very brief. The chapter is titled Devotional Service. How can we approach to this form, the source of all the material worlds? So the chapter 12 is giving us the understanding what devotional service is. We render this service in order to give joy to Him, to the Lord, not to ourselves. The devotional service path starts with this. Krishna is telling us his attitude towards devotional service. Of course, every text is valuable. It is not easy to spend all your life, to give all your life, dedicate all your life to the devotional service. So you start little by little, step by step. You can start with working for me. If it's hard to work for me, then just the fruits of your work give to me. If you cannot do that, then you can study me, learn about me. And the best knowledge about me is meditation. This is the best way to learn about me. And devotional service is the top activity. And this living entity who renders devotional service to the Lord is very dear to the Lord. We are not dear to anyone so far. We make mistakes and people criticize us. But Krishna is saying, if you are my devotee, then don't be afraid of anything. I will protect you from everything. Krishna is saying, such a person is very dear to me. Priya, very dear. One who is not envious, but is a kind friend of all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress. This is the description of a person who is very dear to the Lord. He's expressing his love towards his friend Arjuna. So we can talk about love with God. Just like we say, I like you, I want to be friends with you, I want to marry you or something. But in material world, a lot of the ignorance in this relationship, and we're lacking for this divine energy. My devotee, who is not dependent on the ordinary cause activity, who is pure expert, without cares, free from all pains, and no striving for some result, is very dear to me. One who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such devotee is very dear to me. One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equiposed in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. Just like when I was young, I was so romantic, and now I'm old and I don't feel that romantic air anymore. Where is it? It's all gone. So without Krishna, we lose everything. We cannot hold to that state of mind. We need to bring all our values and talents to Krishna. We shouldn't give it to Maya, but to Krishna. And Krishna will say, you are very dear to me. And Maya, on the contrary, will never appreciate all the good things, all the service you rendered to me. Maya would say, I will give you nothing. So we finished all these 3 chapters. It was like a brief observation of the 3 chapters. Of course, we can think over it for ages. Probably we have some questions or comments. Thank you so much for this submerse and Bhagavad-gita shone through today. It was very nice. So we have one question. How do you understand that the time of your renunciation is there for you? When is the time for you to be renounced, and can you go over 2 ashramas? Well, it should be spontaneous, just like when we see something amazing and we want to go there. Of course, it's natural to do things like this. So, renunciation means when you see something beautiful and it is naturally that you are moved by it and you want to reach it. Otherwise, you will feel some loss. But if you have Krishna, there will be nothing lost. There is such a verse in Bhagavad-gita that states it. Like, we have some restrictions on this path. We're not eating meat, fish, or eggs. We're not engaged into illicit sex. We're not doing any gambling. We're not taking any intoxications. And it's not easy to follow. But if you get this higher taste, then it would be very, very easy. And you will fall back if you don't have this higher taste. You will need to roll back. Nitai Mangala Prabhu is given a question. Does Arjuna knows that he's a soul when he's talking to the Lord? Does he know that he's a soul? Yes, the soul is there. But just like we mark ourselves with different names, we say, you are the citizen, right? And at the same time, you are the soul. And Krishna knows everyone by his name. So Arjuna feels himself as the soul. He knows himself as a soul. Look, it's really difficult to talk about these topics. We will need to run another marathon to get to the understanding, whether he understands or not. And then we will end up voting. Krishna is the source of the qualities, and at the same time, the qualities, there are some bad qualities there, like cruelty, and so is Krishna the source of that? No, Krishna is not cruel. Cruelty is when a person enjoys the punishment, just like Kshatriya. When he is killing the enemies on the battlefield, it doesn't mean he is cruel. He is performing his duty. That's it. So it can be tough, but it doesn't mean you enjoy it. And talking about Krishna, Krishna enjoys when he is killing demons, but he's giving the good to the soul of that demon, and he is releasing that soul from that body. But cruel relationship is the imitation of Krishna. This is our problem. When we try to imitate Krishna, we get cruel. All energies belong to Krishna. How do we differentiate energy and the loss of the energy? If we feel unsatisfied or irritated, or we suffer, it means we use the energy in the wrong way. When the Lord is telling us that He is among the sages, He is that among some material objects or persons, He is that. How can we get that He is Paramatma? Yeah, Paramatma, the source of Paramatma is Krishna. The first phrase He said, I am the source of everything. Para Atma, the highest Atma. But please do not distinguish between Paramatma and the rest. Just like the table and the tree. It's all wooden, but it has different purpose. So do not separate Paramatma from Krishna. My mind is in fear and I am happy in heart. That's what Arjuna said. But does it mean that he could see it separately? Yes, you can say it this way, that mind, there is a mind platform, there's spiritual platform, there's feelings platform, and feelings are limited, and mind is limited, and the soul is unlimited. So at the same time, being in this body, you can feel different things differently. Like when somebody is passing away, your mind knows this is your relative and it's a sorrow, but at the same time our soul knows that he is eternal, there is no death. So you do it simultaneously, this perception. From Bhagavad-gita we understand that Krishna is everywhere in this world. Why Krishna is hidden from us? We cannot see Him. Actually, we can. We just don't understand it. Feelings provide the information, and consciousness or our intelligence is the one that reads the information and perceives the information. Everything is the body of the Lord, but then we need to develop our consciousness, just like the child sitting at his mother's lap. He gets all his being fed and cared, and he's living, but his consciousness is not developed, so he cannot perceive his mother or anything. Universal form, is it only Krishna who has it? Yes, of course. You think that someone else has it? Of course, some great sages can manifest some forms, but it wouldn't be the same as Krishna's. There is no one higher than Krishna. Such form as Krishna showed, no one can show. But of course, you can show some form. You can take a weapon and manifest some form. Something you can show. I didn't get your explanation about Arjun. I wanted to know if his name is eternal, like Arjuna is the eternal name for that soul. Yes, I heard that Pandavas are eternal associates of Krishna. But at the same time, look, Narayana. Nara was Arjuna in his previous life. That's all I know about Arjun. Not so much I know. So you need to study it by yourself. We would like to know about individuality and greatness of the soul. We know that Krishna has all the power, but what is the individuality of the soul, independence? Like when we're talking about great souls, what is the process when a soul becomes great? What is the question exactly? What is the individuality of soul when Krishna is the supreme controller? And the second question is, can a soul can become great soul like the associate of Krishna? Yes, it's possible. That's why we have the Gita. It gives us the explanation how to get on the path of those great souls. Prabhupada was saying everyone is the Son of God, but Jesus Christ is a good Son of God. And about the individuality, the soul is in control of the Lord. The soul is under control of the Lord, and at the same time, the Lord does not control it. Of course, it's inside of him, but at the same time, there's a free will, and Krishna is keeping this free will to the soul. So it's a part of his body, but at the same time, it's free. Like one time, Prabhupada would see a cockroach, and like in India, you can find cockroaches this big, and if you get there, you'll be scared of seeing this because you would never see this anywhere else. And one time, Prabhupada was talking to his disciples, and the cockroach came out. And disciples were afraid of touching it, and Prabhupada came up to him, took this cockroach. He opened the window and threw it out, saying, "I give you the whole world. You're free." And he was saying, like, this is how we get this freedom. We're being thrown into the ocean. Everything is there, but at the same time, we want to be free, and we would like to be on the safe side. What is the best way to preach Bhagavad-gita to young guys who read the Bible and never heard about Bhagavad-gita? They need just to read Bhagavad-gita. That's a good start. Just you can say that this book explains or reveals the topics that were not discussed anywhere else. This is the book that been told by the Lord himself. You can say that all these great minds of the world been reading it, like Einstein, Emerson. Many people studied in the universities in the United States. You can study, you can have Bible studies or Gita studies. It reveals all the spiritual topics. And it also gives you the path of yoga, how to attain this knowledge. If you talk to a person who is intelligent, then it will not require a lot of time for him to understand that these topics is good. And thank you so much. Our time is up, and thanks for revealing Bhagavad-gita to us. It was very good. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Good luck to everyone.